Ever feel this like pull,
Uh-huh.
towards adventure, this like deep passion inside you, but also this kind of like need for freedom? That makes settling down, well, honestly, kind of impossible.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? That like wanting both, expansive experiences, but also that you need independence. Lots of people feel kind of caught between these two things.
Well, tonight on ASTRALX, illuminating your cosmic path, we're going to like dive deep into that very paradox. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Linearia Celine, your intuitive guide.
We'll be illuminating the path forward for all you Sagittarius risings out there, especially those of you with an Aries sun. Buckle up because 2025 is looking like a wild ride.
Oh, it definitely has that potential to really get this. Imagine like a celestial archer forever aiming for the horizon, bow eternally drawn.
Sounds kind of intense.
It is. That's your Sagittarius rising, the face you show the world, always looking towards new horizons.
Yeah, eternally ready for the next adventure. I can feel that energy.
Absolutely, but underneath burns the fiery heart of a ram. That's your Aries sun. And that combination, it's potent.
We all know about that fire, don't we?
We do. This blend of Sagittarius rising and Aries sun, it's not for the faint of heart. Think of a 3-year-old, this little ball of energy, described by his parents as a lobster.
A lobster.
What? He would just turn red with anger in a flash, but also fiercely independent even at that age. That's the energy we're talking about.
Wow, a lobster. That really paints a picture. Okay, so that's Sagittarius rising, influenced by Jupiter, right? Spontaneity, optimism, and a love for all things expansive. You're naturally extroverted, drawn to growth, and always on the move.
Exactly. And then there's that Aries sun ruled by Mars' boldness, a natural drive to lead, and that fiery passion that can ignite the world. Put those two together. And you have someone who doesn't just dream big, they make things happen.
So for our Sagittarius rising, Aries Sun listeners, 2025 is the year to ride that wave of energy.
It is. But the stars also whisper a message of caution. The key to all this power. Balance.
Now that's interesting. What does finding balance actually look like for this fiery combination as we move through 2025?
Well, your Sagittarius side thrives on exploration, embracing new horizons. But Saturn, the planet of discipline and limitations, it'll be aspecting your sign all year, throwing a few curveballs your way, particularly when it comes to health. The first few months of the year might bring some unexpected challenges, so pay attention to your well-being.
So it sounds like it's easy to burn the candle at both ends. Push too hard. Neglect self-care.
You got it. Stress and overexertion are things to watch out for, especially as Saturn's influence shifts towards your home life later in the year. Work-life balance will be crucial to avoid burnout.
So even though our Sagittarius rising, Aries Sun listeners are naturally inclined to just charge ahead full speed, 2025 calls for a more measured approach.
Exactly. Remember, even the most vibrant fire can burn out of control if it's not carefully tended. Optimism is a superpower, but this year, a touch of pragmatism. Think before you leap, weigh the consequences, and try to avoid those impulsive decisions.
Sounds like good advice. Now, something tells me there's like an internal conflict brewing here, too. We have that mutable nature of Sagittarius, right? Known for adaptability and going with the flow. And then it clashes with that cardinal energy of Aries, thriving on taking charge and leading the way. How can our listeners navigate these seemingly opposing forces within themselves?
Self-awareness is your greatest ally here. Recognizing and understanding these contrasting energies is the key to harnessing their power. You can be both adaptable and decisive, spontaneous, but also focused.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where those energies work in harmony. Now let's talk about love and relationships. Our Sagittarius rising, Aries Sun listeners are probably thinking commitment. Who? Me?
Let's be honest, freedom in love is non-negotiable for you. You do well with partners who are adventurous, intellectually stimulating, who can keep up with your energy. Clingy or overly possessive partners, not a good match.
That's putting it mildly. So how does someone with this much fire and need for freedom find lasting love? Is it even possible?
Of course it is. It's not about putting out your fire. It's about finding someone who not only appreciates its warmth, but also respects its need to breathe. The key is to find a partner who matches your zest for life while also honoring your need for independence. It's finding someone who complements you, not completes you.
I like that. So in practice, how do we make this work? What advice would you give to our listeners who are looking for love but also hesitant to give up their freedom?
Honesty and open communication are key. From the very beginning, be upfront about your needs and expectations. Choose partners who value independence just as much as you do. Look for relationships that allow for both shared adventures and individual pursuits.
So open communication, shared values, and a healthy dose of space are the keys to a fulfilling relationship. Now let's shift gears and talk about career and finances. I have a feeling 2025 holds some pretty significant developments in this area as well.
You're right. Career-wise, 2025 has the potential to be a breakout year. Your natural leadership skills combined with your innovative ideas and drive. It's a recipe for success. Recognition and advancement are definitely on the horizon.
But we can't forget Saturn's influence, right? Which will be there all year. What advice does Saturn have for our ambitious listeners?
Saturn is often seen as a restrictive force, but it actually offers some valuable lessons. Patience, discipline, and humility. Its message for you this year. Be open to feedback, especially from those in positions of authority. Even with all that fiery energy, a little humility goes a long way.
So staying open and receptive to guidance, even when you feel driven to take charge, is crucial for success.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to money matters, things might be a bit more unpredictable. You have a natural talent for attracting money, but holding on to it, that's the challenge.
It's that Sagittarius love of risk and impulsivity, isn't it?
It can be. Well, 2025 presents a lot of financial opportunities. Approach them with caution. Avoid impulsive investments in speculative ventures. Slow and steady wins the race, especially when it comes to building long-term financial security.
Sounds like good advice. What kind of career paths would you suggest for our listeners? I'm guessing traditional 9-to-5 jobs aren't really their thing.
You're right. It's all about finding a career that feeds that adventurous spirit, allows for continuous growth and exploration. Travel, media, entrepreneurship, even academia could be fulfilling paths.
Anything that doesn't really feel like a job, right?
Exactly. Remember, it's about aligning your work with your passions. That's where you'll find fulfillment and success.
Now, let's move on to something that might seem a bit counterintuitive for our freedom-loving Sagittarius rising Aries sun folks, home and family. I have a feeling this area holds some valuable lessons in 2025.
You're very perceptive. This year is about understanding that having roots doesn't have to mean being tied down. It's about creating a home base, a sanctuary, a place to recharge.
That makes sense. So what are the essential ingredients for this home base?
Freedom, of course, is paramount, but it's about finding freedom within a structure. Think of a well-designed house with open spaces, lots of natural light, and room to breathe. Your home should be a reflection of your creative spirit, a place to express yourself. And remember, even fire needs a safe place to burn.
So it's about creating a space that's both energizing and grounding, a place where you can be your full fiery self while also finding peace and tranquility.
Exactly. That delicate balance between freedom and structure, adventure and stability. That's the key to a fulfilling home life.
Now let's talk about that masculine energy that's so strong in this Sagittarius rising Aries Sun combo 2025 has a special message for you in this area.
This year invites you to tap into that masculine energy, to embrace the warrior within, channel the fire of Aries, and the adventurous spirit of Sagittarius to overcome challenges and reach your goals.
So it's about channeling our inner warrior, but with wisdom and discernment.
Exactly.
Right.
Think of the ram strong, direct, a natural problem solver. Embrace those qualities, but temper them with compassion and kindness.
Not brute force, but using strength with intention and purpose.
Exactly. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Don't underestimate the power of stillness. I know meditation might not be your favorite thing, but learning to quiet your mind, even for a few moments a day, can do wonders for managing those fiery Aries impulses.
Okay, so we've talked about the big picture for 2025, but I'm sure our listeners want some specifics. What are some key highlights they should look out for month by month?
March is a big one. The worm moon, which shows up in early March. It brings a turning point in your career. This could be a promotion, a great review from your boss, or even a new job offer that really fits your passions.
Sounds promising. Are there any potential pitfalls our listeners should be aware of?
Now's a good time to watch your spending habits. There's a tendency to be a little impulsive and overspend during this time. Remember, Saturn's influence is calling for some prudence and careful planning. And don't forget to take care of yourself physically and mentally. Explore alternative healing, prioritize rest, and nurture yourself.
So celebrate those career wins, but take care of yourself in the process. Good advice. What else should we look out for as we go through 2025?
As we get into June, be ready for some bumps in the road at home. Domestic challenges and mood swings could cause some friction and misunderstandings, especially with your partner.
So open and honest communication is key during this time.
Absolutely. Practice patience, understanding, and clear communication to get through these challenges. And there might be a temporary setback in your career during this time, too.
Uh-oh. What advice do you have for our listeners if they hit a career snag in June?
Don't panic. Remember, setbacks are often just opportunities in disguise. They give us a chance to step back, make adjustments, and come back stronger. Stay resilient, focus on your long-term goals, and trust that this is just a small hurdle on your path to success.
Always looking for the silver lining. I think this is a good place to stop for now.
I agree.
We've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive, exploring that dynamic energy of Sagittarius rising with an Aries sun and how this powerful combo will work in 2025.
But there's so much more to discover. We'll be back soon with part 2. We'll go even deeper into those cosmic currents that are influencing your journey this year.
Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next part of our deep dive.
And for those who want a more personalized cosmic roadmap, remember you can book an email reading with either Solarian or me. You'll find the links in the episode description.
We're jumping right back into our cosmic roadmap for all you Sagittarius rising, Aries sun men out there navigating 2025.
It's important to remember that this year, you're not just living through it. You're setting patterns for the next 30 years.
Whoa, okay, no pressure then.
The choices you make, where you put that fiery energy, it all has a ripple effect that goes way beyond this year.
So like no more hitting that snooze button.
Exactly. Every decision, every action, it's all part of the bigger picture of your life. Choose wisely, and you'll create a masterpiece.
All right, let's break this down. In our last segment, we talked about finding balance, especially when it comes to health, work, and relationships.
Yeah.
It's like harnessing that freedom-loving Sagittarius spirit while channeling that driven Aries energy in a way that doesn't lead to burnout. It's a delicate dance.
It is. You're a unique blend of fire and mutability, a force to be reckoned with, capable of incredible things.
But how do we make sure that force is pointed in the right direction? How do we avoid distractions or those like fleeting desires?
Oh, that's where discernment comes in.
Discernment. I like that. What does that look like in real life?
It's about tapping into your intuition, that inner compass that guides you towards what really resonates with your soul. Knowing the difference between your ego and your higher self.
So it's about filtering out all the noise and focusing on what truly lights us up from the inside out.
Exactly. Not every opportunity is worth chasing. Not every shiny thing deserves your energy. It's about choosing wisely where you put your time and effort.
Which can be tough for Sagittarius, right? Always saying yes to every adventure, every experience.
It can be, but that's where your Aries sun steps in Aries as a cardinal sign. It takes initiative, it leads, it makes its own path. Combine that with the wisdom and foresight that Saturn's bringing this year, and you have the power to create an amazing journey.
So how do we cultivate that discernment? Are we talking meditation,
Yeah.
journaling, vision boards?
Those can all help. But it starts with self-awareness. Take some time for introspection. Reflect on your values, what really matters to you, what are your long-term goals, and how can you make choices every day that support those aspirations?
So it's about living with intention, not just reacting to whatever comes our way.
Exactly. Pay attention to your energy levels. What drains you? What leaves you feeling depleted? And on the other hand, what energizes you? What makes you feel alive and excited?
Follow that spark, right?
Yes, follow that spark. That
Yeah.
spark is your soul speaking to you, guiding you towards your highest path. Don't ignore it.
This is really resonating with me. I bet our listeners are out there nodding along saying, yes, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Okay, let's get back to those monthly highlights. We talked about March and June in the last part. What other astrological stuff should our listeners be aware of?
September is a big one. It's a month of potential change and expansion. The stars are lining up to bring you a chance to travel, maybe even move somewhere new.
That Sagittarius wanderlust might kick in.
It might, but remember, approach this with discernment. This isn't about running away from something. It's about being drawn towards something new and exciting that fits your growth and evolution.
Embracing new adventures that are in alignment with our highest selves. I like that. What about the end of the year? What's in store as we head into 2026?
December is a time for reflection and introspection. It's a time to look at what you've accomplished this year and set some intentions for the year ahead. Celebrate your wins, acknowledge the challenges you overcome, and let go of anything that's no longer serving you.
It's like a cosmic cleanse to get ready for a fresh start.
Exactly. And as you move into 2026, you'll be carrying all the wisdom and momentum from this year with you. The seeds you've planted in 2025 will start to bear fruit.
That's beautiful. So if you had to give just one piece of advice to our Sagittarius rising Aries sun listeners as they go through the rest of this year, what would it be?
Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. You have everything you need within you to create a life that's fulfilling and meaningful.
Simple but powerful.
You are a force of nature. Own it, embrace it, and let your light shine.
You heard it here first, folks. Trust yourself, embrace your power, and get ready for an amazing rest of the year. But wait, there's more. We still have so much to unpack, including those deeper insights into the spiritual lessons and karmic themes for our Sagittarius rising Aries sun men in 2025.
The cosmic tapestry woven for you. It's intricate and full of meaning. We'll unravel those threads together.
So stay tuned for part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll explore those hidden dimensions and reveal even more cosmic wisdom to help you unlock your full potential in the year ahead.
We're so glad you're here for the final part of our deep dive into 2025.
Tonight, we're going to be exploring those deep spiritual lessons and karmic themes that are waiting for our Sagittarius rising Aries sun listeners.
Think of it like we're unraveling this intricate tapestry of destiny, woven by the stars. We'll be revealing the hidden patterns and purpose behind your journey.
And for our Sagittarius rising Aries sun guys, these threads are woven with adventure, passion, and a ton of soul growth.
It's true. 2025 isn't just about outward achievements and material stuff. It's about aligning with your higher purpose, embracing your authentic self, and evolving on a soul level.
Okay, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
So what are some of the big spiritual lessons our listeners should be aware of this year?
One of the most important ones is about surrender.
Surrender. For an Aries sun who's all about taking charge and doing their own thing, that's got to be tough.
It can be, but remember, surrender isn't about weakness or giving up. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and trusting the universe.
So instead of forcing things to happen, it's about letting things unfold naturally.
Yeah.
Trusting that the universe has a plan.
Exactly. The more you resist, the harder it gets. Like trying to row a boat upstream. You're fighting against the current.
But if you go with the flow of the river, you can move forward much easier.
Exactly. This year, the universe is inviting you to embrace the unknown, those unexpected twists and turns. Meet them with curiosity and openness.
And that's where that Sagittarius faith comes in, right?
Yeah.
Believing that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't get it right away.
Absolutely. Your Sagittarius rising makes you naturally optimistic and adventurous. You trust the journey. This year, you're being asked to combine that trust with that fiery Aries determination.
So it's about having the courage to go after your goals, to take action, but also the wisdom to surrender to the bigger picture, trusting that the universe is guiding you toward what's best for you.
Perfectly said. Now, another big spiritual theme for you this year is authenticity.
Authenticity. Wow, that's a powerful word. What does that look like for our listeners? How can they really embrace their true selves this year?
It's about taking off any masks you might be wearing, letting go of roles that don't serve you anymore. It's about being brave enough to show up as you are, flaws and all, and letting your light shine.
Embracing what makes us unique, right?
Yeah.
Our passions, our quirks, everything that makes us us.
Exactly. And for a Sagittarius rising Aries sun, that authenticity is a powerful thing. You're naturally bright, optimistic, and courageous. The world needs that.
But we all dim our own light sometimes, don't we? We let fear and self-doubt hold us back.
We do. But this year, the universe wants you to break free from those limitations, to see your worth and step into your power with confidence.
That's easier said than done. Any tips for how to cultivate that self-love and confidence?
Start with self-compassion. Be kind to yourself like you would to a good friend. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and celebrate your wins, even the small ones.
Because every step towards self-acceptance, every time we embrace who we really are, is a win.
It is. Now, on a karmic level, 2025 is about clearing out those old patterns that aren't working for you anymore, especially in relationships.
Okay, this is getting deep now. Karmic patterns, that sounds heavy.
It can be. But karma isn't about punishment. It's about growth and evolution. It's the universe's way of getting us back on track, guiding us towards our potential.
So if we keep making the same mistakes or holding on to unhealthy patterns, the universe will keep giving us chances to learn and grow.
Exactly. And for you, this year might bring some challenges in relationships, especially romantic ones.
Love and karma, always a tricky combo.
It can be. But these challenges aren't meant to destroy you. They're meant to help you break free from those limiting beliefs you have about love, partnerships, and commitment. They're opportunities to create something better.
So maybe it's about finally letting go of that fear of commitment, or maybe learning to communicate your needs and set boundaries.
It could be anything. The important thing is to be open to the lessons, to look at what keeps happening in your life and ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this?
What am I supposed to learn from this? That's a good question to ask ourselves no matter what's going on.
It is, because in the end, everything happens for a reason. It's all part of our soul's journey.
Okay, feeling inspired now. But before we wrap up, is there anything else our listeners should keep in mind as they navigate this year?
Nurture that spiritual connection, meditate. Spend time in nature. Connect with your higher power, whatever works for you.
Because when we're spiritually grounded, we can handle anything.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone in this. The universe is always supporting you, guiding you, and cheering you on.
That's beautiful. I think we've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have. We talked about those astrological influences, the challenges, the spiritual lessons, and the karmic themes that are affecting our Sagittarius rising Aries sun men in 2025.
It's been a journey packed with wisdom and advice. Hopefully our listeners feel empowered to make the most of this year.
We hope so too. Remember, you're a force to be reckoned with. Embrace your power, trust your gut, and illuminate your cosmic path.
And for more personalized guidance, don't forget about our email readings. You can find the link in the episode description.
Until next time, may the stars guide your journey.
And may your inner fire burn bright.
Namaste.
And so it is.